Hello and welcome to the Speedy Speedrun Losers Finals of the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe No Items 200cc 48 tracks tournament. On the one side we have Dansta2106 with a PB of 133.24, and on the other side we have Hydrei with a PB of 133.18. And yeah, so although Hydrei has the faster PB, he is on the digital version of the game, and that means that he'll have a kind of offset. So he will start with a 50-second buffer. And yeah, so you can see that minus 50 there on his sides. So they will start the timers at the same time, but Dancer will go at 0 and Hydrei will also go on 0, but he'll have a 50-second head start. So yeah, both are going to start on 0, and so they have still their RTA time they can submit to the leaderboards, but for us in this race setting, it just matters who from the stream crosses the finish line of Big Blue the first. So yeah, minus 50 is correct. So we are going to see Hydrei start 50 seconds behind, and well, whoever crosses the finish line of Big Blue first is going to win this race, and he just starts at 0. Load times suck, but I mean, yeah, what will you do? There's not really much that you can do to that. And so I'll try my best to calculate the time differences. Hopefully I remember to do it at the end of each cup. I have a sheet for that ready here, but should I forget it, please remind me, yell at me. Yeah. So the beginning of the race will be a bit bad, but at the end it will spice up for sure. And we're getting the countdown in now, and they'll start soon. So just waiting for the cue. Okay, so both runners saying they're ready now. And we should be going any second now, or at least Dancer should be going now. Okay, so countdown hit 0, and we should get the signal through. And yeah, good luck to both runners. Okay, Dancer starting a bit late. Nothing to worry about too much. So yeah. An interesting thing to note here is that both of them are going to start on Mario Kart Stadium. So theoretically speaking, the fastest point to start would be N64 Rainbow Road, but they're not going to do that here, because if you start on Mario Kart Stadium, you can actually get nicer sub-splits, and yeah, that's probably why they're doing that. So yeah, Hydrei also going now. And interestingly, Dansta still not going for the beginning misc here. So what you can do there is you can cut the grass at the first corner, but he appears to be not confident with it, and pretty surprising because you can lose up to a second by not doing it in front of CC. So maybe he'll go for that 3. And yeah, we can see Hydrei going for it, but actually failing it, kind of. So that was probably not worth it. And Yeah, Dansta having a pretty clean American Stadium with the strats he goes for. Okay. And crossing the finish line at a 1:37-ish. Okay. So on the first load, Hydrei is going to gain 3 seconds over Dansta, and on every subsequent load, he is going to gain 1 second over Dansta. So he should be crossing the finish line at a 1:34 to be tied still with Dansta, because well, it just loads faster, but Hydrei actually making a few mistakes here in American Stadium, so probably losing time on this track. And yeah, Dancer already in Water Park, so nothing much to commentate on this part of Water Park, but there's something of interest coming up soon, so we'll be back to that. But yeah, we can see that Hydrei is now crossing the finish line at 1:43, which means that he actually is already 9 seconds behind due to making a few mistakes in America Stadium. So yeah, Water Park. So on the one side you have this giant looping you can easily build a Ultra Mini Turbo on. And on the other side you have something cool coming up on Dance's side right now, so maybe he goes for it. Nope, not doing it. So you can build up an Ultra Mini Turbo on that straight there. It's probably faster, but Dancer showing a lot of confidence with this strat, so as long as it works and doesn't crash into any walls, it's probably fine in 200cc on these levels. And yeah, so let's just see when Dancer hits next race. Okay, it was a 3:29 from him. So that means Hydrei would need a 3:25 now, because 3 seconds for the first load and then 1 second for the second load. And I guess that he's probably still 8 seconds behind right now, because that was only lap 2 right now. So yeah, anyway, Sweet Canyon also doesn't really have a lot going on for it. So this part right here with the anti-gravity can be a bit tricky. So Dancer not going for the orange mini turbo you can get there. If you are going for the orange mini turbo, you can get a lot of speed, which can crash you into some walls if you're not careful. But again, Dancer going for some very safe strats, but yeah, still doing badly fine. And Hydrei, it appears, hit next race on about 3:35 or something like that. I don't really know, so losing another second there. And one thing you can see is that they're actually not tricking in the glider cannons. So if you're going through a glider cannon, you don't actually want to trick, because tricking in glider cannons is slow. And Dancer actually hitting the off-road there. That's going to lose him a lot of time. So yeah, if you take the corner 2 inside, you can hit the off-road, and it looks silly and loses time, which is not great. Still having a pretty good Sweet Canyon otherwise. And Hydrei actually tricking in the cannon. So while it doesn't really lose you any time, it's still basically free time gain if you remember to not trick in the cannon. But again, I can understand the argument that it's very tempting to trick in the cannons. I still do it myself too, and yeah. So Dancer coming up now on Thwomp Ruins. And you saw that beginning mist there at the beginning. Dancer executing it in a very good way, not touching any of the off-road, and now taking a little unintended swim, it seems. I'm not sure what he was going for, because the underwater route is actually the fastest. I guess we'll have to wait for lap 2 to see what he was trying to do there. So this time with a bit worse of a Nisk, but still not hitting a lot of off-road, so it's fine. And it appears he's trying to go on the anti-gravity section. I'm pretty sure that's slower. Not sure about that, but so you can get 2 free coins in the underwater. And oh no, failing the shortcut at the end. So that's going to lose him a bit of time there. And yeah, so Nisk not looking too great, but still made it without falling off, so that's always great. And yeah, Hydrei going through the underwater, but unfortunately balking there, so not really saving any time with that. And Hydrei actually not even trying to mess with the ending shortcut, understandable decision. But Dansta going for it again and making it. That's nice. Okay, so and now as promised, we're going to time and see how far ahead Dansta is. So Dansta is going to hit next race at a 7:22. And there should be about a 6-second difference between them, if I did my math right. So Hydrei should be getting 7:16 next race, but actually falling off there again, and I don't really think that he's going to gain any more time here, unfortunately. So yeah, Dancer definitely ahead by a good bit now after having some mistakes and Swarm Runes, but Hydrei unfortunately making more mistakes than Danster, so Danster going to gain time on him even on that track. Okay, Danster going for the glider on Mario Circuit. I don't really have seen that before anywhere, but if it works, it works. So yeah, I'm not judging that. An interesting thing you can do here is soft drift. So if you see the head of Waluigi move a lot, that's usually slower because wiggling your analog stick in a corner around tends to lose you time. And yeah, Dansta for sure wiggling Waluigi's head, so he's probably listening to a kind of banger there right now, but yeah. So that's not optimal, but at least the lines are tight, I'd say. So let's see what Hydrei does. And Hydrei having a lot less wiggles actually, so that's great. Yeah, Hydrei is probably going to gain time on this track because of just having a lot smoother corners in general. Oh, drifting in the wrong direction. That was definitely Commentator's curse. Yeah, I'm very sorry. Okay, so let's. Oh no! Oh my. Okay, that's very unfortunate falling off there. Yeah. Anyway, Toad Harbor. So on Toad Harbor, you have this little upper portion of town, and Danster making it through there in a very nice fashion on lap 1. Oh, that was unfortunate. So what you want to do there is not bonk into the wall, but instead go onto the 2 boost pads and gain some coins that way. Yeah, but Hydrei having some rather poorly visible timer now because he's behind, but I guess that was a 9:29, and Dansta with his 9:09 is definitely ahead by a lot right now. So even without accounting for Kart filters, digital version differences, there's a lot of difference right now between them. And okay, that looked great. Okay, it's always scary doing that shortcut that way. So you can bonk into the lamp, and that will send you into the water. But fortunately, that didn't happen to him in this case. And yeah, Hydrei also now on Toad Harbor, and let's see how it goes for him. Not bonking into the wall there, so that's fortunate for him. Okay, And Dancer just telling me that he golded that track by 4 seconds, even with bonking into the wall, so that was probably a very big accomplishment just by virtue of not bonking to anything, or at least not falling off there, so Dancer having a pretty good run right now, I'd say. Okay, so the track that Dancer's on right now, Twisted Mansion, has this feature where you have 2 split paths leading into 2 more split paths. So you have in the underwater section the floor and you have the wall, and then you can choose to glide into either the lower section of the house or into the upper section of the house. What's fastest is to take the wall and then glide into the upper section of the house, but that's pretty difficult because you're coming in at a weird angle. And Dancer instead opting for the second best option, which is to take the floor path and then go into the upper section of the house. So he looks very confident with it, and he might actually consider going the wall to upper section of the house part, because he looks very confident with taking the corner this way, and yeah. So anyway, Hydrei now also making his way up to the difficult decision of which way do I go in Twisted Mansion. And he's also opting for the floor path, and let's see where he tries to land. And yeah, Hydrei also landing in the upper section of the house and also making a very nice corner afterwards, so that's great. Okay, so Shy Guy Falls. A lot of people have renamed their Shy Guy Falls split to something along the lines of Shy Guy Falls a lot or something, because this track can be rather brutal at times. And yeah, so what you're going to see now, coming up on Dancer's side, is a pretty big shortcut. It was intended for mushroom use only, but let's see how he does it. Yeah, that was a good way, I'd say. Not perfect by any means, but still good. So you can actually skip all of the off-road entirely, and that's of course the fastest way because you're not getting slowed down in any way, shape or form. But still making a rather nice cut there. And it's always interesting to see which kind of setup the runners use to get into the cut, because you can see Dancer here gliding to the cave at a very specific angle and then tricking apparently to get into there. And so basically everything you do after the glider out of the waterfall is set up for doing the shortcut in the way that you know how to do it. Because while it's easy to make the shortcut, it's very difficult to hit as few off-road pieces as possible of the shortcut. And yeah. So again, let's see what Hydrei does. Oh, Dancer actually getting... Oh, that might fall off. Okay, good save. So Dancer there carrying too much speed actually. And it appears that Hydrei is not messing with the shortcut at all, so Dancer definitely gaining at least 3 or 4 seconds there on him just by doing the shortcut all 3 times and not falling off on it. And oh no, I think I forgot to time my load times, but I don't really think it matters now actually, because Dancer is having a substantial lead and I don't really see it waning unless he does some major mistakes for now. So yeah, Sunshine Airport, there's not really that much going on. The most exciting part of Sunshine Airport is trying to remember that you're not supposed to trick on either of those glider ramps, and just as I say that, Dancer tricking on the second glider ramp. This is not the worst glider ramp to trick on, but still it's not really great to trick on it either, so yeah. The reason why you don't want to trick on that glider ramp is that you get Ultra Turbo out of it, so out of the corner before that actually. And by getting the Ultra Turbo, you can basically avoid tricking and just use the Ultra Turbo boost as now seen on the other side, which is faster because the Ultra Turbo boost lasts way longer than the trick boost of the glider, and it also doesn't set your speed. So, two positives there. There's a lot of weird glider tech in this game actually, so it's not really that relevant in 200cc, unless you're a top time trialer, I guess, because it's not really that useful in speedruns. But on some courses, if you go off a glider ramp and then activate motion controls, you can actually access a wider range of controller inputs, and those allow you to take the corners way tighter. And not only that, but for whatever reason, it also carries your speed a lot better if you use motion controls. And that kind of tech is called a motion glider, and it's used in many places in 150cc, and now it's also beginning to get used on 200cc. So this track, Dolphin Shoals, is actually a prime example because the time trial world record now uses the motion glider at the last corner, and it's definitely a sight to see because the record just basically flips 90 degrees because of all the tilt he gets. It's really glorious, so go watch it if you have free time. Yeah, anyway, Dansta at this point ahead by a lot, so basically almost a full course at this point. So, well, not quite, I misread which lap he was on, but still 2 laps ahead, almost 3, and yeah, I think it wasn't really because he has the better strats, it's just because he doesn't really make any mistakes right now, which is great. Okay, so what else could I tell you about Dolphin Shoals? There's not really that much to it, really. It's just this funny thing with the glider at the end. So, I mean, you can see that Dansta is barely tilting it at all, and I'm not kidding you. The record, it really just goes 90 degrees. It's pretty weird to see. So, anyway, out of this track and into Electrodrome, I think it's called. And Electrodrome has a layout that's basically perfect for 200cc. So all the corners are rather wide, and the track just feels like it was made for 200. So basically there are no tight corners that you don't really know how to take. It's just wide corner galore, and it feels pretty great in my opinion to race on 200cc, much better than it does on 150. It's one of the few tracks where I would say that, because other tracks, especially the ones coming up shortly in the Special Cup, aren't really that friendly to 200cc. But I guess we'll have to see that. So yeah, you can see how tight Dansta takes the corners here, and I really think he's brake drifting a lot to do that. It's just holding the analog stick in a comfortable position, not even all the way to the right on some corners, and it's just a great call on 200. It feels perfect. Yeah, so I think that's all I could tell you about Electrodrome. So there's not really that much going on. Dansta just basically flying through it, taking some very tight corners, but making it through without a scratch in this case, and it looks like Hydrei is also doing fine with this track, so the only real danger on this track is yourself, because you could end up taking some corners too tight and bite off more than you can chew, but that's a pretty rare occurrence, so I don't think there's any of them in any danger for that. On the other hand, this track has a lot of danger, Mount Vario, and yeah, that's already going onto a minor off-road adventure, nothing too major, but just a little excursion there. And let's see if he does the cut. Yeah, he does the cut in a pretty interesting way, but still made it. And yeah, so the first part of the track is already kind of difficult because it's slippery and all that good stuff, but the second part is where it really shines. So first up, this corner is not really fun to take in a sharp way. And now begins the tree section for Dansta, and let's see if he manages to squeak through them. That looks strange, but apparently he knows what he's doing. Yeah, okay. So Dansta making it through without any tree interaction. And now let's see how he does the slalom part. Oh, that looks very nice. That looks very nice. Yeah. Okay, a bit scary at the end, but definitely made it through Mount Vario without major interference, which is always great. And now let's see what Hydrei does on Mount Vario. So again, going for the shortcut. Oh, okay. That was kind of scaring me there for a second. And now through the dam section, that should be pretty comfortable again, and then out into the wild. Yeah, meanwhile Dansta is going to Clutter Cruise, so that's not really the most interesting track, so I'm just going to see what Hydrei does now for the time being. So Hydrei now in the tree section. Oh, okay. Oh, that's a white line, but... Oh, I have a commentator's curse again. I probably should stop doing that, but... oh, that's very unfortunate. Just made it over the invisible wall there. That's not great to see. So yeah, Dansta having clean Mount Vario, and Hydrei having some troubles at the end, unfortunately. So, oh, Dansta bonking into the wall and having a look at the vines. I can understand that the vines are very funny and stuff, but I wouldn't spend time looking at them so much in speedrun, but good to do. Anyway, so on Clutter Cruise you have these lightnings here in this section, and they are on a global cycle. So yeah, you saw Dansta just looking back there to probably check which cycle he was on. Theoretically speaking, you should be able to avoid the lightning at all times, and if you hit a lightning, it's strictly your fault. But the cycles are very tight, and you can lose a bit of time to just kind of random occurrences, like the bounce pads for some odd reason will just not propel you in a fast way sometimes. Yeah, so you saw that Dansta wasn't really confident with taking the boost pad to the right there. I couldn't have said if he made it or not, but it worked this way. And yeah, so let's see what Hydrei does. I didn't really watch his lightning section, but I guess it was fine because he still has many coins right now. And yeah, so Dansta now in a pretty bad course, Bone Red Dunes. So beginning is kind of good, but after that it's going down. And now Hydrei again in the lightning section and not getting hit again, which is perfect. Okay, so let's see what Dansta does here. This section can bump you into a lot of random directions, but that was almost the perfect way. So just missing all the coins, unfortunately, but not getting into the off-road and not falling off and not getting chomped on by the plant is always a great combo. So yeah. Hydrogen here. Oh yeah, that was not fast enough, I'd say. And Dansta meanwhile having a bit better line there, so catching some of the coins, but still not great. But then again, not falling off, and that's basically what counts at all. So pretty good from that point of view, I'd say. And yeah, so Hydrei now also in Bone Royal Dunes. Okay, so let's see how Dancer does it last lap. Oh, that was yeah. I wanted to say that was a bit too wide, and he just barely made it onto the rock. So I think a few pixels to the left there, and he would have gotten shot into the abyss, which is about as fun of a time as it sounds like. Okay. And it appears that Hydrei also had a pretty good session there, because again he still has a lot of his coins. Now the track that Dancer is on is also on a global cycle, so we have to see how that goes. But first up, Hydrei with a beautifully executed Bone Royal Dunes corner there. That was perfect. So anyway, on Dancer's side, we have the fire bars, we have the maze, and then after that we have the fire bars. And after that we have the Flaming Bowser, and all of those are on a global cycle, and all of those are on a fast global cycle, and all of those can easily ruin your run. So yeah, a lot to watch out for on this track. And if you're not careful, and if you're not having a good, basically mistake-free run, it's very hard to read what cycle you're on after that. And yeah, it looks like Dansta knows what cycle he's on right now, and going through the middle there very confidently. I actually wouldn't have recommended that, but apparently it worked for him, so that's great. And yeah, Hydrei having a pretty clean Bone Royal Dunes from what I saw. Oh, Dansta's just squeezing through that laser there. That was pretty cool, I'd say. Oh, yeah. So that can happen. The maze. It doesn't really lose a lot of time, but now all the cycles will be different, and let's see if he knows how to adjust for it. Yeah. Okay, looks good. So now the game begins for Hydrei. Which cycle is he on? Does he know how to handle the cycle and all that good stuff? So first lap looked good. Oh, going very wide here. I don't really know which kind of implications that has for a cycle, so I'm also pretty thrilled to see, sorry, what he will do here. Okay, looks good. Going through the middle there with the maze. Yeah, also Dancer now on Rainbow Road, so there are a few corners that can be a bit scary. So the first one is coming up right here. Oh, I don't know if that works. Okay, it worked. I don't know if the CPU bump saved him or something, but it worked. So anyway, Hydrei now coming up on lap 3, and let's see if he hits anything. No, that looks good. Oh. Okay, minor bumpage into the wall, but nothing too major. And Bowser should be out of the way now too. Yeah, great. Oh, yeah, okay. I really should stop saying anything too soon, I guess. Let's just ignore that. And Dancer falling off on Rainbow Road there. That was very unfortunate. That was definitely one of the worst places you can fall off, and also one of the worst fashions you can fall off there, so not too great. And yeah, so maybe he also fell off on this shortcut coming up here. I don't really know. Hard to say. From the coin count here. From the coin count, sorry. But yeah, appears that he made it this lap. And let's just wait and see what kind of nitro time he's going to get now. So The Nitro time is basically all the tracks up to Rainbow Road, the first one, if you start on Mario Kart Stadium. So I think in my race against him, he got like a 32. Oh, that was unfortunate. 32 something. And I think he said that that was 10 seconds behind his PB. So it looks like he got a 31:46 Nitro time. Not sure if that is PB for him or not, but it's pretty good, I'd say. So, oh, Hydrei barely making it and barely not falling off there, but that was a clutch moment there, definitely. Oh, that was very unfortunate. He almost made it too. So yeah, Rainbow Road can definitely screw you over in a lot of ways if you're not careful about it. So now Dansta is going into the retro track, it's called. Yeah. So all the courses that Dansta is going to play now for a bit are going to be remodeled and remake courses from all the Mario Kart games. So the course he's on right now is Moo Moo Meadows from Mario Kart Wii. And yeah, unlike the retros in Mario Kart Wii, these retros are definitely not only ports for the most part, but they're rather remade from scratch to fit the playstyle of Mario Kart 8, and yeah, that looks pretty good, I'd say. Yeah, and Dancer saying that he's 19 seconds ahead of PB right now, so that's great. Yeah. So also the retro tracks are a bit shorter, so while it looks like Dansta is now almost a full track ahead, that's not actually the case. It's just that Moo Meadows is a very short course compared to Rainbow Road, so he didn't actually gain that much time. Okay, so now we're going to oh, okay, never mind, we're not going to see. Ignore that. I was going to say that there's a cool shortcut you can do there, but Dansta apparently not feeling it right now. I mean, he's sitting on a pretty juicy lead right now, so it's understandable that he doesn't go for any of the stuff he might not feel comfortable with. So he's just going to do that little corner cut there instead. I mean, it's not slower by much, I'd say, but it's still a bit slow. Okay, so let's see if he now does the shortcut. So on Hydrei, I mean, what you can do there on the last corner is you can instead of just cutting the corner a bit like that, you can hop over all the tires that are there. Yeah, Hydrei going for it and executing it perfectly. Well, I mean, not perfectly, but in a very good fashion. So the perfect way to do it would be to get a Super Mini Turbo on that corner, but that's very difficult. Yeah, but that tire hop you can see there is definitely cutting up a lot of the track, so pretty big time save there for Hydrei, I'd say. But still, Dansta with a lot of time he's still sitting on, so not going for that shortcut, definitely not a huge problem for him now, in the position he's in right now. Oh, Dancer hitting Mr. Crab there. Yeah, that wasn't really something that Peter would have liked to see, but we're just going to move swiftly on now with the next course, because there's literally nothing I could tell you about Jeep Peach that's of any interest to anyone. I think that the next track, unfortunately, is also very bland and definitely the most interesting thing you can say about Toad's Turnpike is how it is the worst track in the game. At least according to a lot of people. So I don't really know what it does. It's probably the combination of uninspired textures, going with the traffic, which always isn't really fun, and then after that just the layout, which is literally just a figure 8 circuit. I think the combination of all of that is definitely taking a very big part of the Toad's Turnpike flair out. So yeah, I can understand that this track was great back in the N64 days, but even with all the remodeling that they did, it just doesn't cut it, I'd say. So this looks like a custom track from Mario Kart Wii from like 2013, so nothing really the fault of the artists, but it's still just not a fun track in my opinion. And yeah, Dancer just hitting a car there to further show that Toad's Turnpike is really just something that you don't really want to spend a lot of time in, and trying to kill himself there, but unfortunately even head-on collisions with a truck will not put you out of your misery here in this course, so yeah, that's unfortunate. Yeah, also Hydrei going for that strat, but it's not faster, so yeah. On a more serious note, Toad's Turnpike's traffic, it's kind of randomized, and so you have basically these 4 options, which again basically are 2 sub-options. So the first sub-option would be traffic going with you or traffic going against you. So Hydrei has now traffic going with him, and Dancer had traffic going against him. And then the second sub-option would be if the glider ramp truck is on the middle lane or on the right lane. So Dancer had the quote-unquote perfect RNG with the glider ramp truck being on the middle. We don't actually care about which way the traffic goes. And Hydrei here unfortunately having a bit worse RNG with the glider ramp truck being on the right side. And yeah, so traffic is RNG. There are 4 modes you all have to memorize, only one of which will appear in time trials. So that's another fun thing about this course. Anyway, Dancer now on Dry Dunes, track with a rather massive ending shortcut. Dancer apparently not going for it, I'm not really sure why. So you can just cut the last corner entirely. It feels super weird, but it definitely saves a lot of time, even if you do it in a very bad way. But Dancer apparently just not feeling it right now, so he'll probably not go for it now. Left 3 either. Yeah, so let's see what Hydrei does strat-wise on this course. Oh, I think Dancer went for it there, and still, while he hit a lot of off-road there, that was still faster than going around, which is kind of crazy, but that's definitely the way it is. So the perfect way to do it would be to stay as close to the rock as possible. But still, if you hit a bit of off-road because you're too far away from the rock, that's not a problem at all, because you're cutting that much track that it's still worth to just go through it and just tank the off-road basically. And yeah, so Dancer now on Donut Plains 3. Yeah, in all my commentaries I've done so far, I went on a rant on how cramped this track is and how easy it is to lose control, and Dansta just delivering us a prime example of that. I think he drifted in the wrong way or something there. Very unfortunate, but yeah, donut plane's definitely one of the hardest courses in the game, in my opinion. And let's see if he does it better this lap. Yeah, that looks definitely a lot better. So the thing is, even if you don't drift in the wrong way, you can still lose a lot of time on this course because some of the corners are just very slippery, and trying to turn around them, sorry, and carry a lot of speed through them requires very precise lines. And yeah, Dansta going into a little adventure there. Pretty sure that wasn't faster, but I mean, he's still sitting on a pretty big lead, so they're like a minute apart right now, so that's still pretty big considering that they are that Hydrei's load time buffer is probably down to 30 seconds right now. Okay, so the next track again is going to be a bit bland, Royal Raceway. It's another N64 track actually, so all the N64 tracks, I mean, of course, limitations of the hardware, etc., etc. But yeah, yeah, you know, it's just not as fun as other tracks. So yeah, I probably just see on the other side from Dancer's perspective. Hydrei, on the other hand, still in Donut Plains 3. Which is a way more interesting course, although it is on a prior hardware system for whatever reason. And yeah, so making his way around the last corner now. So again, you saw that he was pretty slow in the last corner. You can go through the last corner faster, I'm sure, but it's pretty difficult to do that. Okay. So Dansta unfortunately hitting a bit of off-road there, in that corner. That's something that tends to happen. And this off-road on Royal Raceway has a tendency to just eat your drift instantly if you try to go over it. Which is pretty funny because other parts of the track have off-road that doesn't affect you at all for whatever reason. I mean, it isn't really funny, it's just strange, but it's just the way that this track functions. Kind of janky, but that's basically the entireness of the game. Kind of janky. So anyway, now we are coming up on the halfway point of the run, which is DK Jungle. So race number 24, you just saw it on the screen, and yeah, so because the retro tracks and bonus tracks which are coming up after that are a bit slower than the nitro tracks, the halfway point is actually considered to be around lap 2 of this course and not upon finishing it, as one might expect. So yeah, Dansta now being almost halfway done with the run with a time of 45:25, and I'm not going to jinx anything or anything, but that's on pace for a pretty big PB, I'd say, considering that he has 133 right now. And yeah, Hydrei now finishing up Royal Raceway with a time of 45 minutes or something like that. And yeah, so Dansta definitely still ahead by quite a lot right now. And I don't think that I have seen Dansta do any like major mistakes. So the worst thing I have seen from him right now was falling off on from ruins all the way at the beginning of the run, but that's like 40 minutes ago at this point now. And yeah, I mean, there have been some interesting lines here and there and some crashing into walls, but that's just going to hope it's going to happen. Oh yeah, right. His Rainbow Road was bad in parts, but yeah, that and Thrump ruins about it. So pretty clean runner, I'd say so far. So yeah, Hydrei now also on the halfway point with a time of 46 minutes. Oh yeah, that was unfortunate. So I'd say he's probably. Oh my, that was. That didn't look like fun. Okay, so he might not. He might be a bit behind PB pace now, I'd say. After that very unfortunate mistake, or rather that rather unfortunate series of events there. But yeah, still a pretty solid run for him, I'd say. And yeah, anyway, Dancer right now is in turn left stadium, as I'd like to call it, because basically all of this is one big left turn. There are just two right turns, so that was one of them. And the other right turn you can do is basically more of a technical right turn, because if you go through those two ramps with the fire rings around it, what you want to do is not trick on it actually, but instead start a right drift on the first ramp and then hold a drift, charge a mini turbo mid-air, and then get the mini turbo upon landing. Dansta actually tricking on it. I'm not sure what that is about, but I mean, if it's safe for him, I guess go for it. Because again, he has a pretty big lead right now, and he's not doing any major mistakes, it seems. Okay, so apparently it was an accident to trick on that. Yeah, that's understandable. There are just a lot of things in this game that you want to trick on so badly, but you're just not allowed. But Hydrei also tricking on it. I mean, I can understand it, and it's very fun to trick through two fire bars, but drifting also feels good. It's just kind of bit unintuitive to drift on a ramp when you can also drift, when you can also trick on it. I know. Okay, so anyway, Dancer right now going into Sherbet Land. Yeah, so it's another track that's not really one of my favorites because it's slippery, it's icy, there are shy guys in the way, and there are ice holes in the way that you don't want to fall in, which he thankfully didn't do right there. That was very close. So yeah, in general, Sherbet Land is just not really a fun time in my opinion. Okay, so it appears that that was not great. There's having a little peak at the column, it appears, but still making the cycle, rather reacting to the cycle in such a way that he doesn't make any friends with any shy guys after that, which is always great. Because even if the shy guys look like they want to give you free hugs, I wouldn't take that up on that offer. So yeah, this underwater ice cave is not your friend actually, so it's better to just not go into it at all and try to stay on the ice up top, but again, that requires a kind of tight path, so I can understand not going for that. Okay, so now this track, Music Park. It's very interesting because Dansta actually bopped my time on this track by 1.3 seconds. I'm not really sure how he did it, but we are going to watch it all together. Okay, so it looks like he's just doing some pretty good lines right now because I'm not doing anything different, but yeah, so Dancer definitely having a pretty good music park, it seems. Oh, that was nice. So what you can do there is a so-called super bounce. And while Dansta is not actually going for the super bounce, he's still bouncing on that. And yeah, the angle looked super great right there. Yeah, let's see if he does a super bounce lap 2. I don't really know how he's 1.5 seconds faster than me because he's still this pace that I'm on. Yeah, that was way better. Still not a super bounce, but he cut the grass after that. Okay, a bit of a wide corner there. And yeah, that was basically the same pace that I'm on. Not sure how he managed to save that much time in a time trial, but yeah, anyway. Music park done. Oh, no, that's very unfortunate. So, because Dancer fell off there, his screen is going to freeze for a bit. Yeah, about 2 seconds. So, if you fall off, and that's basically a cartridge exclusive, if you fall off after finishing a race, Lucky 2 has to save you, and for whatever reason, the screen freezes after that. So, you really don't want to fall off after finishing a course. And while its screen still freezes a bit on digital version, it's way worse on cartridge for some odd reason. So the two places where it can happen a lot are Toad Harbor and this bit of track right there in Music Park. And yeah, very unfortunate if it happens. Okay. And okay, Dancer just managing to avoid the egg there, so the egg can be definitely a lot of trouble there if you're not on a 2 great pace. Oh, that's very unfortunate on Hydrei's region's pace. Sorry, on Hydrei's region's side, what he unfortunately did there. So yeah, Dancer ahead by a lot right now. And oh, that was just brutal. Oh, Dancer also falling off on Yoshi Valley. Let's see where the egg is. Okay, at least the egg is out of the way. Still not great, but yeah. So now on Dancer's side, a lot of hard tracks are going to appear again because he's going into the Lightning Cup. So the first track will be TikTok Clock. And so it is a clock, so of course it will be cycle based. And the two main things you're going to have here are the clock hands and the pendulums. And yeah, so the pendulums can be a lot of trouble. And the clock hands can be your friend basically, because you can take a little shortcut at the end of lap 2. You can also take other shortcuts, but they are way more difficult to take. So we are going to see what Dancer is going to do now in lap 2. Ooh! Did he just clip through that, or was it just the camera? Anyway, I don't think that he's going to make the lap 2 cycle anymore, so that's unfortunate. Yeah, that doesn't look good. Yeah, not going for it. Understandable. So let's see if the pendulums are going to be in the way now. I don't think they will be. Yeah, okay, that looks good. That looks great actually. Yeah, nice pendulums. Okay. yeah, that was a bit unfortunate that he had that moment there, but I mean, it's still good. Okay, so yeah, they're basically one track apart right now. So almost having a sync right now. Actually, this is a great place to compare the load times. So yeah, just I mean, look at that. Hydrogen gaining another second just on the load times here. Oh. Okay, that was very unfortunate. So Hydrogen having a little pause there. Yeah, anyway, Dansta now on Piranha Plant Slide, and Piranha Plant Slide is a track where a lot can go wrong. So yeah, Piranha Plant Slide, the outside isn't too bad, but well, what's in the inside matters, and the inside here is pretty brutal at sometimes. But it looks like Dancer made lap 1 and 2 without falling off, and let's hope that he can continue that into lap 3. Oh, that was a very close corner there. I think it was only a bit away from actually failing and going into the off-road. Okay, I'm going to have to mute myself for a bit. Okay, sorry, I just had minor dog interference, so I should be back now. Okay. So what is that? In the meantime, it looks like Danster had a pretty good Piranha Plant Slide, I'd say. And yeah, so Dancer right now is on Grumble Volcano. And Grumble Volcano is kind of a breather of the Lightning Cup, so there shouldn't be too many problems for him here. I'm not really sure which kind of strategy he's going for with that ramp on the top there, but sure, why not? So, yeah, it might be that the part falls off while he's going on it, but he seems to be on a good enough pace for that not to happen. Okay. Oh, that was kind of funny how the glider just popped up for a second there and then disappeared again. And Hydrogen also having a pretty good Piranha Plant Slide, fortunately. Oh, okay. I was scared that he was going into the lava hole there. Oh! Barely not beating out the meteor there and getting hit by it. That has to hurt a bit. Okay. And yeah, so I'm trying to calculate which kind of pace Dancer is on right now. So it looks like he's very hard to say. Maybe 132, mid 132 to low 132. Yeah, that appears to be right. So probably about a minute ahead of his PB by now. maybe a bit less than a minute actually, 40 seconds probably, but definitely a very good run for him, considering which kind of strats he's going for. Okay. Also now, this track, N64 Rainbow Road, is very unique in the way that it doesn't really tend to give you a lot of points. So you have this train. The train is designed to give you coins if you're on 150cc. 200cc 1.5 times faster. Train not 1.5 times faster. That doesn't really mix well, does it? So yeah, no coins for you on N64 Rainbow Road 200cc, unfortunately. Okay. So now let's see when he crosses the finish line here. Okay, 1, 2, 26. And if he gets 30-minute bonus tracks, which shouldn't be too hard considering which times he got here, it's going to be a mid 132, I'd say. Okay, he says that he's 26 ahead right now, but yeah, let's just see how the bonus tracks go, because I think that there's a lot of time improvement then. But okay. He's actually not going for the waterfall shortcut lap one. I mean, it's a bit inconsistent, yes, but he's so far ahead right now, I might as well go for it, I think. But, yeah, so Hydrei also now getting into N64 Rainbow Road. See if Dansta is doing the waterfall shortcut now. Oh no, actually still not going for it. Yeah, I don't really know what's up with that. But I mean, 4 coins, okay, it's okay. 4 coins is a bit low. Yeah, okay, I can understand not going for the 4 coins then. Oh no, Hydrei falling off on N64 Rainbow Road. That's very unfortunate. And no, that's also not attempting the waterfall shortcut with 9 coins. Probably doesn't know how to do it then. Oh, Hydrei falling off again. That's just not great. Yeah, Rainbow Roads can be tough, man. They can be tough. Yeah. So oof. Yeah, that looks like Hydrei got a 1:3:50 or something like that. I don't really know. So almost a minute behind Dansta right now, and that is with Dansta being on cartridge and not on what's it again, digital version. So yeah, Dansta definitely ahead by a lot now. But still, let's see how the remainder of the race will go. So it appears that Dansta actually got very good RNG here on Excitebike Arena. So in case you didn't know, the layout of Excitebike Arena is random every time you load it up in a versus race. And yeah, the RNG that Dansta got here is pretty favorable, and yeah, it looks pretty fast. So the tricks are very nicely aligned. That's what I meant to say. Yeah, just, I mean, look at the trick into trick into trick, and yeah, that's basically what you want to see if you're speedrunning this. Okay. So, if I'm not mistaken, the track next up will be, yeah, Dragon Driftway. So, on Dragon Driftway, you have this a gap shortcut, and let's see if Dancer will go for it. Doesn't look like it, no. Dancer is going for the little shroom pipe instead, so... Yeah, that's definitely something you can do. You can also cut the gap there on the right side. It feels a lot worse than it actually is, but I can still respect the decision of not going for that and going for that. Oh, actually giving the wall a little love tap there. That's not great, but yeah. Anyway, what I meant to say is gap cut. It isn't as bad as it feels and as bad as it looks, but it's still kind of bad, so I can respect the decision of not going for it. And yeah, let's see what kind of layout Hydrei got actually for his Excite Bike Arena. So again, the layout looks to be pretty solid after overall. So it looks a bit worse than Dancer's layout actually, because for example he couldn't get that trick there, but yeah, still kind of a good layout. I'd say it's not the worst. It's not the worst ever. Definitely not great, but it's mediocre, I'd say. Okay, so now anyway, Mute City. Mute City marks the first instance of the F-Zero track, and F-Zero tracks have usually, well, not usually, there are only 2 of them in the game, but F-Zero tracks have anti-gravity, and they have crazy track layouts, loopings everywhere, and they normally also have at least one shortcut where you go flying all over the stage. Let's see if Danster goes for it here. Oh, yeah, that looks like he was trying to go for it, but unfortunately was a bit too far to the left there, and yeah, fell off because of that. Yeah, maybe we'll see it now lap 2. Oh yeah, that's something that can happen. So the walls love to hug you. Fun fact, you don't love to hug the walls, but I'm sure he knows that. So yeah, this is the shortcut that I was talking about, so you can just fly all over there. You can actually fly a lot further if you hold down on the analog stick, but Dancer not going for it because it's actually not the fastest way to go about this. Although it's probably the most fun way to go about it, if you think about it. Okay, and now let's see how lap 3 goes, the shortcut. Because lap 2 was kind of scary, and oh, this looks a lot better already. Yeah, that was a lot faster. So yeah, this is about about how far you can go. So yeah, actually you can avoid touching any of the ramps altogether, but that requires a lot more precision than just making this cut, which is already impressive. So yeah. And now we see Danster going into Various Gold Mine. So Various Gold Mine doesn't really have a lot to say about it. So I mean, it's a hard course, yes, but it's just hard all the way through. So there's not really one particularly interesting place that I pin down. It's just in general kind of tight lines here and there, squeezing out the mini turbos, etc. So let's see what Hydrei does now on the Mute City cut. And oh, that might not. Okay, never mind. It worked perfectly. That's great. So yeah, also flying pretty far there, which is always. And oh, Dansta, maybe mistaking lap 2 for lap 3 because you don't actually want to do that trick there on lap 2 and crashing into a wall afterwards. Yeah, so New City Cut again going pretty well for Hydrei. And yeah. Okay, so unfortunately I have to go now because it's getting rather late, but yeah, I'll just say good luck, runners, and yeah, see you later.